Oh, dadgummit. I knew everything was going too smoothly. There we go. Welcome, everybody. We are back from the dead, here to talk about July of 2022. I am the BrettMan. This is Destiny, or AKA the 80 cult member, which she is a very hardcore member of that cult. So, 80 cult member, AKA Destiny, how are you doing today?
I'm good. I'm tired. I woke up probably like 40 minutes ago. Yeah.
I, yeah, I don't blame you. Like, we've had a very busy weekend. Just because like Friday, Saturday, you went to the Houston Horror Fest convention, and then me and Brad were filming over 15 hours and 2 days of skit filming. So we are both exhausted, but we're still glad to be here.
Oh, yeah.
So apologize, like if we're yawning or just like, like it's just like this ain't a boring topic. Even though luckily this is a little bit of a slower, like not too many movies came out for these particular episode, but there's still some good ones to talk about.
Yeah. Whenever I was doing it, I was like, wow, the most year I have for stuff is 2021.
Yeah, I know.
That one
Same
I had
here.
several. This one, I'm just like, oh, there's like 2 movies. I was like, whatever. All right.
Hell yeah. So let's address the chat and then we'll just go ahead and get started. We got the Montre, what's going on? What's up, BrettMan and Destiny?
Hi.
And he also says, yes, Halloween Scream starts tomorrow. Yes, and I will address that a little bit later towards the end of the show where we're promoting our stuff. So yeah, I'm still happy you're excited for it. And because trust me, we're super. Me and Brad are. And then we got Ashton Luck. That's a new face. Welcome, Ashton. Make everybody Ashton feel welcome.
Hey, Ashton.
And then we got Heather, one of our favorite people in the entire world. Horsehead Heather say, hey, everyone. Hope y'all are having a great Sunday so far. Happy Shark Week and happy Halloween Scream Eve. Yeah,
Shark
I know
Week.
Shark Week. God, now I want a shark sludge. I've been addicted to them ever since they came out.
They're pretty good.
God, especially the
Even
gummy.
though it's just blue coconut and strawberry.
I know. It's not,
But it's still good.
Oh, I do got to ask you a question, and I'll send you the picture of it. At the grocery store, I found a Sonic cherry limeade seltzer.
Oh, I heard those aren't good.
They're not good. Okay, good. I almost bought it just so I could say, hey, if this drink sucks, I can blame Destiny for it. It might be one of her ideas.
There's because I saw a girl I'm friends with on Facebook post about the ocean water one.
Ooh.
And I was like, because I just love ocean water. And I was like, oh, hell yeah. And I sent it to my friend. And then I went back to her thing and I read her comments. And almost everyone was like, it is so bad. And I was like, never mind. I will not buy them.
Man.
I don't like seltzer drinks to begin with, though. Like,
oh, you don't?
I don't. Every time I've tried it, it just makes me want to throw up.
Hey, you should see me like that one night when you and Brayden did the Scream watch along, and I did 5 White Claws during that freaking drink along.
You should have saw me after the fucking thing ended.
Yeah, I know. I was drunk texting at that point, but yeah, I remember you at the end of it. Like
I immediately threw up.
Oh,
immediately threw up, and then I turned on the last drive-in somehow I managed to connect the shutter and everything and start it. Laid in bed and said,
bam.
Woke up at midnight saying, what the fuck? Stayed up for about an hour, and then I was back.
Yeah, you message going like, yeah, what the hell is happening right now?
No, literally, because everyone's still talking. I was like, why the fuck are y'all awake? But I had also just been asleep for 4 hours. I was like, what the fuck's going on? Yeah. That was not a fun night.
Yeah, so we highly suggest do not drink during the Scream 5 watch party. So, but let's see here. Oh, we got Gory Tiger in the house. What's going on, Gory Tiger?
Hi.
We got Adrian James. What's going on? We got Whipped Cream Head. That's first off, love that name. What's going on, Whipped Cream Head?
Love it. The picture and everything.
Oh my!
It's red from that 70s show.
Oh my
fear. Whipped cream.
Ah ha ha ha! You're a mess. No, Chad, you're a mess.
You're a mess.
And then,
I know you are, but what am I?
Ooh. And then Heather says, we found ocean water and cherry limeade freezer pops at the Dollar Tree, and they are good.
Now, those I want to try because those have been out for a couple of years, and I still haven't freaking found them anywhere. Oh, but man, I guess I'll have to go to Dollar Tree.
Go to Dollar Tree, or I'll go to Dollar Tree and I'll send them to you in a liquidy box kind of way. And then you'll just have to refreeze it. That's all you'll have to do.
Perfect. Simple
There.
enough.
And then we'll get the last comment, and we'll officially get started. Lamontre says, "Saw the Chucky season 2 teaser trailer. Have you seen that?"
No.
Yeah,
I
it
have
dropped.
not.
It dropped late last night. And I actually
Oh,
did
last
get
night.
it did. A lot of crap dropped last night. It was
Okay,
crazy.
maybe that's why then, because I literally woke up and I immediately had to start getting ready for this. Like I haven't had the chance to look at anything or see that it was posted about. So I'll have to check that out afterwards.
It's a very good teaser trailer. That's the only thing I'll tell you. So it gets me excited. And then what's going on, Chris Snyder, my buddy, my pal?
What's going on?
Wait a minute. Guys, this is the first time ever for Back from the Dead. We have a special guest.
Who?
What the hell? Guys, I have honestly that kind of looks like my house.
It's a nice ass house.
I appreciate that, but I'm
Oh God.
concerned.
Oh God.
Holy fucking hell! No, Michael! No, God, that coming! No, no, that coming, Michael! That coming, Michael! Ah!
Wow, rip. This is 2 streams in a row that I've been doing this, and some people pop in without me knowing.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, I know, right? Like, I didn't even mean for it to happen. So, everybody say hello to Brad.
Hello!
Brad, I thought you were leaving, you little liar.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
I even said to be careful.
Bert's not really dead.
Not yet.
Thank you for the clarification.
Yeah, see,
really
everybody in the chat's freaking out right now. Like, what is
that? That was honestly pretty cool, though.
I was about to get on the road again, get some lunch, but I was like, you know what? Let's mess with Bertie real quick. So, and say hey to the fellas and the ladies.
Gory Tiger watched that promo saying we get killed with the beer can. Oh, welcome to the party, pal. Oh my
that was
God.
pretty good. I like that. I like the double angle. That was nice.
Oh man, that I wasn't expecting it. I was just freaking going along with it. But like, and then, yeah, thank you, Heather. Poor me. Like, I got killed for 13 hours yesterday.
Yeah, it's been a long couple days for Bertie, but anyway, I figured I would stop in, say hello. I got to get on the road, but enjoy the show, have a good time, and get back from the dead. Like
yeah,
right.
Yeah, I'm fucking alive. I'm back from the dead. I took that literally.
All right, well, bye this time for real, Brad. Be careful.
Oh my gosh. Okay, so that's Brad. Just in case if y'all wanted to know who that was, although how he had access to my house, but I think we're ready to start off with the show. Are you ready, Destiny?
I'm ready.
All right, let's do this. So, if anybody's new to Back from the Dead, here's what we do: we celebrate horror movie anniversaries that deserve a kind of like the nod, like, hey, it's your birthday, congratulations. So y'all will know, so y'all can play the movie and celebrate it. And we're going to do the integrals of 5, 10, 15, and 20. And we also included this time around 1 year. So we'll be talking about 2021 movies that are celebrating their 1 year anniversary.
Yeah.
Yeah, there we go. I love your enthusiasm. So I was like, I don't know what else to say, but all right.
Me either.
So here we go. We're going to start from the bottom to the top. So the first one I got is from 1977, and that is the original The Hills Have Eyes for Wes Craven, and you can find this on Shudder, Tubi, and Vudu right now. Good tomato, like the critics, but for the fans, about 50-50. So, Desi, have you ever seen the original The Hills Have Eyes? Because I know you're a huge fan of the remake.
Yeah, I did. And I watched the original like last year for the first time. So I'd seen the remake so many times before this. And the remake is better. I'm sorry, Wes Craven. But the remake it's better. But the original, it's not bad. It is one of those things where a lot of the remake is almost like shot for shot in certain ways. Like certain scenes play out pretty much the same. Mm-hmm. But I just think the remake did it so much better. And the character of, I think his name is Doug.
Yeah.
The younger dad in the movie is just fantastic, and there's really not someone like that in the original movie because it's really just like the 4 or 5 like main people. But in the remake, there's a couple of extra people like traveling with the family. And also, like, I felt like the remake, it just kind of ends. It's just like all of a sudden, a part of like the earlier third act happens in the end of the third act in the original, and then the movie just ends. And I was just like,
What?
what just happened? But it's still good. I think I probably gave it like a 3 out of 5. Like, it's not bad.
It's just kind of like it gave you kind of like something to mess around with to make it better, and that's what
Mhm.
Alexandra Ajay did. Because
Yeah.
he was the director of the remake, and he did one hell of a job bringing new life into a movie like that. But I did like the original too. It's the guy's name I'm thinking about who plays Pluto, Michael Berryman.
Berryman, yeah.
Yeah, he would. I love him just because he has such a unique look to him. But I think it's perfect for the horror genre, and I felt like
Hmm.
he was a standout in the movie as well. But damn, Pluto in the remake, though, holy shit, that's a scary guy.
Yeah. I do think Michael Berryman is awesome. And I mean, he's iconic. He's a cover of this movie
Mm.
poster, and I think he's great. And in real life, he seems like such a sweet guy. So it's cool to see, I feel like most of the time, all these bad guys in the horror genre turn out to be like some of the sweetest, and I think that's really cool. But I want
Oh
to meet him so bad.
yeah, I did too, and I believe he was in Indianapolis from Days of the Dead this past weekend because I
Mm.
thought I saw a picture of him with a fan. So that's awesome. Yeah, I want to meet him someday in the future too, just to tell him that we appreciate him for all of his hard work into the horror genre because he does look like one of the nicest people of all time.
Yeah, like so I watched this on it was the Thanksgiving
Last drive-in.
yeah, I forgot what it's called, like the whatever. But I watched it for that, and he was like the guest star on there, and he does like a lot for like animal shelters, and he partners with a lot of like animal rescue like organizations, stuff like that. And I think most of the money, or maybe all of the money he gets from cons, it goes to that, and I think that's
Oh,
really sweet.
nice.
And like they were auctioning off stuff to go to like some sort of like thing for like animals, and I was like, wow, that's really
Oh,
nice. So he
oh,
just
that's so
seems the
awesome.
greatest.
Yeah, he really like. I never do that, so that's so awesome. Like, I respect him even more just because she told me that story. That's so
Yeah,
awesome.
he just seems so nice.
Oh, and Chris says he met him at the one and only conventions that he's ever been to so far. Told me a great behind the scenes story of the Devil's Rejects. Yeah, because he was part of the Devil's Rejects as well.
He just seems amazing.
Oh yeah, so I want to meet him someday. And Gory Tiger says the dog has a flashback in the second one. It's hilarious.
I have not seen the second one. That
No,
is one
and
I.
I just want to watch that particular scene, and then that's all I'm satisfied with the sequel.
Why does the dog have a flashback? That's just funny.
Yeah, it's like,
Yeah.
"Orr." I just like the dog going, "Orr."
Hmm?
Yeah,
And then
but
it just. Yeah.
oh my gosh. Evan, what's going on, Mud Nelson? How are you doing?
Hi.
Evan, okay, so that's the only one I have for the 70s. Did you have anything else for the 70s?
Yeah, I have one more from 1977, and it's one I have not seen, but I've heard a lot about, and it's called Orca.
Okay.
It's Jaws, but with the orca whale.
So like it's Flipper. No, not Flipper, but Free Willy, but
Free
really
Willy.
like PG like rated R.
Yeah, like killing.
Oh my gosh. Poor Willy.
But that's all I had. I just wanted to mention that
No, that
because
I
that's
love
just
that title. It's just a
orca.
orca. It's like what should we call this? Like killer whale, orca.
Orca.
Like orca.
Yeah.
See, it's already just instilled in my brain already. So I was like, what should I watch later? Orca.
Yeah, and it's like that thing with Jaws. Like Jaws is just 4 letters, red font, and then orca, just 4 letters. So it's definitely like a sort of rip off of Jaws, but
Mm-hmm.
I like rip off Jaws movies, so I definitely want to give it a watch at some point.
Yeah, absolutely, you should, and I think that's a nice little transition because we are going to the '80s, and I didn't find anything for '82, so I'm going to jump into '87. Oh, nothing for you for '82 either.
No.
Great. So we're going to jump right into '87 since we're talking about Jaws. This is the movie that Destiny was so kind of her to have me watch, and that is Jaws: The Revenge that came out in 1987 on July the 17th, and then. The other movie we're going to talk about from this particular year too, and then we'll talk about both movies at the same time. And this is a big one, ladies and gentlemen, the 35th anniversary of The Lost Boys, July the 31st. I know there's some out there that's saying this movie came out in August. You know what? The 31st, you could kind of consider it August pretty much. So very
Yeah.
close to each other. 35th anniversary, amazing scores. So, that's actually, let me go with Jaws the Revenge first because I know you're dying to hear my reaction. All right. I didn't think it was bad as a lot of people are saying it was. Because I love the Caribbean setting. I do love me some Michael Caine where he goes, "Oh shit!"
Literally.
And then other than that, the movie was total trash because once they said Brody died of a heart attack with fear of the shark, that's where you completely lost me. Like, okay, that's such a disservice to a legacy character. Like that, I bet Halloween Kills watched this movie with legacy character knowledge.
Oh yeah. I do think that Jaws: The Revenge, it does have good moments. Like I do like that Ellen comes back. It's
Mhm.
cool to see after watching like Jaws 3, which I love Jaws 3. I love Jaws 3.
Oh
But
yeah, it's fun.
you watch like that movie and it's almost not really canon. It like compared to like 1, 2, and 4, I feel like Jaws 3 is like its own universe, even though they're played by like the Brody boys, it's still
Right.
like no. But then you go back or you go to Jaws: The Revenge and you have Ellen come back, which is cool to see someone we're familiar with. There's
Mhm.
a lot of not like the opening part, but when they're talking to a bunch of like the council people, like most of those are the same people from the first movie, which is
All
awesome.
right.
So there's still some sort of like, you know, continuity, which I appreciate. I think that Sean's death scene in the opening part, I still think that's like terrifying
Mhm.
because like I could like you're out there on the boat, it's night and you're like trying to move this log and then you get attacked. I think like that
Yeah, this shark just jumps out of the water. First off, sharks can jump. That's impressive.
hey
But
some can.
I know that's why I don't go
Great
in the damn
whites.
ocean. That's why I
Great
do
whites
not go in the
can.
damn ocean. But
But I think the opening is still scary, even though it's like cut like your typical sort of Jaws attack. Like
mhm.
later scenes, it's just like, and then they're dying, and there's blood, and then it's like, okay, you got attacked. But I still think that
Almost kind of
opening
look
is
like an
scary.
adult Georgie in
It
a kind
does
of a way.
with his like yellow little
Little jacket, one arm
raincoat.
missing. Yeah. Oh my
Ah.
god.
Like you said, the Caribbean setting is awesome because I just love the water because it's clear and it's pretty. I just love nice crystal clear water.
Hmm.
And I think like the side characters are fine. Like I think everyone's like fine in the
Right.
movie. I just think the story's not good and it's kind of confusing in some parts as to like what's going on. And I feel like a lot of the days don't have enough time to breathe because it's like
Hmm.
Christmas and then we're going past like New Year's.
Yeah.
And
New Year's have been like what 4th of July
it's
or
like why is it so like spread out? But you know. Also it's upsetting the little girl that plays the daughter in the
yeah.
movie. Um her story is so upsetting and then I remember watching like a video about it and they like pretty much did this movie. It was her and her mom because they got to go like fly out and like they're away from the dad and she kept talking to everyone on set like what was going on and she's like I'm gonna leave him, I'm not gonna leave him, I'm gonna leave him, kept like jumping back and forth and just like hearing about that I was like wow that's like really upsetting because like I grew up watching this movie, the whole franchise really, but like I watched this movie so many times as a kid and it's like wow, it's just sad to know like what was going on behind the scenes with them and everything that
Mhm.
happened afterwards. But you know,
Man, like
it
that
sucks.
that yeah, it does. Like I can't say much of that because like that's just a bad situation.
It really is. You know, rest in peace.
Yeah, rest in
Did
peace.
not fucking deserve it.
Mm-mm.
None of them did.
No, it never does like the Bruce Shark family tree because all the shark wanted to do was get revenge. Like,
Oh,
what did you think about that?
in Jaws 2, in Jaws 2, Brody's talking to like the like marine biologist or whatever that's there, the lady, and she's like pretty much said something about like revenge. And then she said, "Sharks don't take things personally, Mr. Brody." What's the fucking tagline for this movie? This time it's personal.
So that damn Brody family, I'm gonna swim all the way. Yeah, I
All
was
the
like
way from up here all the way down there.
down
Different
there.
climates, because like up there, I'm imagining it because it's Christmas time. So you're like up here, like in the main area, like it gets cold there. It gets really fucking
Oh, yeah.
cold upstate.
Mhm.
So you have a shark that's in this cold ass water, swimming all the way to this warm ass water. It's like,
Yeah,
what's going on?
like,
What's
come
happening?
on. Like, yeah, I just like it's I just kind of have fun with that. Just like, come on, like they've already established in the title of the movie, like not a big deal. But yeah, the story with the whole Ellen character, I thought that could have been really interesting to explore that because we only focus on the main Brody, but we never really focus on Ellen. But I thought like it would have been cool, but it was just nah,
Yeah,
pretty much. But I gave the movie a 2 out of 5.
that's still not terrible because some people give this like nothing. And like, I still think there's some good qualities to it.
Just
I
like this
still,
person. The Data Banner, Jaws 4 is one of the dumbest movies ever made.
I don't know. I just love shark movies.
I mean, that's even Heather saying 0% is so rude. It's not that bad. I prefer it to Jaws 3D. Woo.
So does Chris. I respect. I disagree. I disagree so much because
Yes,
I
even
think
Chris said that too.
Jaws 3 just has. Jaws 3 is like a comfort movie for me. I can put this movie on anytime. First of all, Dennis Quaid. Hello.
Oh, yeah. Go Dennis.
Hello. I love the aquarium, SeaWorld sort of setting. I love really the main four characters, like the two Brodies and then the two like girlfriends. I love them. I just think it's so much fun. And I think
Mhm.
there's a lot more like fun to be had with Jaws 3 compared to this one, in my
Yeah,
opinion. Because I
especially
feel
with
like
the
this one's
SeaWorld.
slow. Right? The setting is just so fucking cool.
Mm-hmm.
And if
Yeah,
they
just
would
like a
have made
killer
that,
shark.
they would have made that without it being like a Jaws movie. I feel like it probably would have been like more successful because I still think the idea is great.
Mm-hmm.
And like the Brodies weren't even supposed to be in it, and like the studio like made them write them into the story, and they're like, why? Like, doesn't make sense. And also like, I think it's set in like Florida or something,
I think that's right. It's been
and
such a long
like
time.
where they're at doesn't connect to the ocean whatsoever, like in real life. But it's like whatever. I'm gonna keep ignoring stuff because I like the movie. It's still kind of dumb, but it's dumb fun in my opinion.
Yeah, dumb. Excuse me. Dumb fun indeed. I totally agree with that. And Adrian James says, "I've seen Jaws 2 and 3, but not the fourth. If you want to, I say watch it, but at least one time. And if you like it, there you go. Watch it multiple times. If not, just toss it to the side,
Yeah,
or just take the DVD and just use it to make sure this freaking stand doesn't fall over because that's what happened 2 days ago.
the whole stand.
Yeah, the whole stand just completely fell over. I thought it was a ghost because unfortunately I built it wrong. Like because the base is right here.
Right.
I know, I know, and I was so proud of myself. And then I looked at the instructions. I went,
So what the fuck?
"Fucking
It looks
A."
good though. I think it looks good with all the masks and shit. I
I just
like it
need
a
to
lot.
I just need to put lights, like so it brights
It's
up. That's it.
yeah,
On the
you need
thing.
some like orange or even green lights. I
I
say
agree.
orange or green.
Definitely orange because it would go great with the Myers mask and the knife he
The
gave me
knife.
for Christmas. I
Yeah, you
love
might
that.
want to be careful. That bitch is
I
falling
know.
over.
God, talk about Final Destination right there.
Right? But
Uh,
it looks good. I like it a lot.
oh, absolutely. Van, thank you. The Metal Junkie, what's going on, my friend? I believe that's Nick Cooling, because he's got 2 YouTube accounts. So Nick, if that's you, just let it be known. Just because, because I'm tired, and I'm trying. A lot of people are here, and I appreciate you all being here. So, Destiny, now let's get into the Lost Boys because a lot of people love the Lost Boys. A lot of people have the Lost Boys as easily in their top two of the. I would say top three vampire movies of all time because earlier this year I watched Near Dark. I was like, okay, I could shoot that into the top three possibly. I could see that argument. But what about you? Where do you put the Lost Boys, and where do you stand?
Oh, your thing.
Oh, am
froze up.
I gone?
You're good now. You're good now.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Lost Boys. Yeah. The Lost Boys. I love the Lost Boys. I would say Near Dark is probably my favorite of like the three like main 80s, like Near Dark, Lost Boys, and then Fright Night. But I think they're all so great. So it's kind of hard. I'm just like kind of partial to Near Dark because it's like a country sort of westerny vibe.
And Bill Paxton, I know.
Bill Paxton, and a lot of it's like set in like I think Arkansas and Texas, and
yes.
So it's just I really love the whole vibe of Near Dark, and they play like some like George Strait in it, which I thought was really cool. But Lost Boys, it's like you have like Near Dark over here, and then you have like the complete opposite of Fright Night because like they're both like groups of vampires hunting and shit set in fucking California and at like the little Santa Carla or something. Santa Monica, the pier or whatever.
I know what you're talking about.
Yeah, it's one of those, I think. But it's just so like colorful and bright, and there's all kind of lights everywhere. And it's like where you have like sort of like a southern thing going on over here. It's just full on like rock and like punk, and I think it's so much fun. I love The Lost Boys, and I watched this one when it was on Netflix one day. I was like home alone.
Oh,
and this
really?
was
I didn't know it was on Netflix.
Oh, I don't think it is anymore.
Well, not anymore, but back then.
This was like 2017. I was like home alone, and I was like at this point, like I of course watched horror, but I hadn't really dove into 80s horror that wasn't like Friday 13th, Nightmare on Elm Street, Halloween, and some Jaws movies because those are like the ones I mainly watched as a kid. But I didn't really watch a lot of 80s one-offs, I guess. And so, well, even though this has a franchise, but you know what I mean. The Lost Boys is like a league of its own with its own really franchise. But so I watched it and I was just like, holy shit, like this is awesome. So it was one of my first sort of like 80s movies that weren't super well known to me. And I freaking loved it. I think it's so much fun. I love all the characters. They're scary, but they're sexy, and it's so much fun.
It really is a lot of fun. I want to get these comments before I go to my because once we brought up Lost Boys, the chat, it was game over.
Because it's just so good.
It is so damn good. Chris says The Lost Boys is fantastic, but I still prefer Near Dark and Fright Night OG above it easily, which I will explain in a minute. And then Heather loves the whole trilogy of The Lost Boys, which, Heather, I have not forgot about your sweet birthday gift. It's just been crazy, but I do have it on my watch like stack. I do have a stack where I'm like, okay, I need to watch these movies. It's on that stack. I am going to watch them. You have my word for it.
I'll watch them too.
Because Heather is the sweetest person in the world for doing that back in April. And then, but Nelson, I could not agree more. The Lost Boys, what is the 80s? Absolutely. If there's one movie to show in the 80s to describe the 80s feel, it's this movie.
I would agree because it just has like just so much about it is so 80s, and I love it. And I think that's why, like, besides it just being a good movie, it's just it feels so 80s, and it's one of those things like that will never be like replicated like accurately again. Like, we watch like Stranger Things and it's like the 80s, but it's not the real 80s. Like, it's sort of like the like facade of the 80s. Like, it's just what we imagine the 80s to be, but this is literally the 80s. So I don't think those feelings of like 80s movies will ever be like fully captured. Replicated. I think season 1 of Stranger Things does phenomenal with like the 80s vibes, but I think stuff set in the 80s, nothing will actually feel like that ever again, and it's kind of disappointing because I was born in 98, I will never know what the 80s
Yeah, I was born
really
in
was.
'90, so I was 1 year off from experiencing like the '80s as
You
a
wouldn't
baby.
have remembered shit anyways.
No, I probably will not. I'll be like, "Goo goo, yeah."
He said, what's going on? Even my mom was born in 84.
Oh
So
man,
like
so
my mom
she
barely
kind
got
of
to,
barely. God,
yeah. Yeah. So,
man, now I'm sad. Like I don't
I
want to do
know.
anything else, but like, and
I'm
then
leaving.
yeah, well, don't leave because we still got more to cover. But Dinner
We
with
barely
Parents
started.
says, I still prefer Fright Night as far as vampire movies are concerned, and that is my pick. Is the original Fright Night, just because for me and what I love in vampires, it's Fright Night for sure. But I love different interpretations of vampires, and the Lost Boys added a whole nother layer to the vampires as well with their eyes. That's what is fucking scary to me, especially with Alex Winter and you see his.
hmm Yeah, I would agree. I think the way I would rank the three, I think I would put Near Dark first, The
Ooh,
Lost
okay.
Boys second, and then Fright Night third. But I still
Third.
think all of them are great.
I was just flip same or kind of the same, but I flipped Near Dark and the original Fright. Why do I want to say Fright Man? Fright Night. Just flip them. Just putting the. Oh my gosh, I'm really that exhausted, guys. I apologize. So, Fright Night, the OG one, The Lost Boys 2, Near Dark 3. Hooray!
Perfect.
Thank you.
Good
We'll
job.
get there. But yeah, I just love the whole atmosphere of The Lost Boys. It's great. Great storytelling. Of course, we got Corey Feldman in it, and Corey Feldman is in every damn child movie ever made. But if you even watch a 2022 movie, you see Corey Feldman in there somewhere as a kid.
Yeah. It was
And
Corey Feldman, and who was the other one? I feel so bad for not
I know
remembering his name
I'm
because,
blanking right now too.
again, Corey Haim.
Yes,
Corey
Corey
Haim.
Haim.
Rest in
And
peace.
yeah, rest in peace, Corey Haim. And also a good friend of mine, Mel from My Killer Podcast. This is her all-time favorite vampire movie. She absolutely loves it.
I couldn't blame her. I kind of want to watch it today now.
Oh, well, hey, there you go. We're pretty close to the anniversary, so there you go. And then, of
Perfect.
course, the last thing I want, two things I want to last talk about with the Lost Boys, and we'll move on. The first one being the saxophone guy. Epic as hell. Probably my favorite thing in the entire movie because that's just badass. And then lastly, we gotta talk about it. There are talks of there being a remake.
Oh, yeah.
What do
I
you
was going
think
to
about
bring
the
that up.
remake idea? Yeah.
Like, I'm really not opposed to remakes and reboots and stuff. The only one I would say, like, I'm, like, opposed to is, like, Jaws.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think Jaws should ever be, like, remade, but that's just my opinion. But The Lost Boys, like, I don't mind it. And like I said, like, those feelings of the original Lost Boys will never, like, they can try, but it won't be there. But you have something like It 2017 that I think is so much better than the
Oh yeah,
miniseries.
big time.
And the vibes of the movie are different though. Like I would say, like the first one, it is serious, but a lot it is kind of goofy.
It's serious.
It's serious, but this
No,
in
I just like how you say
2017,
it's like it is
it
serious.
it is serious. But the remake is just it has such a different feeling to it. And I think if it was something like how the It 2017 movie feels, like I think it would actually be pretty successful. Because I saw like the boy from It that plays Bill, I think he might be in it or something. Whenever I see it, I see him mentioned. And I think he's a great actor. So I think there's a chance it could be pretty great. Will it be as great as the original?
Hell
Probably
no.
not. But I feel like if they kind of keep it in like that, try not to make it, because I don't know if it's going to be like set in the 80s or if it's just going to be like newer or what.
I would probably say it needs to go the newer route for
I
me,
think it needs to go
you could
newer.
gain the newer audience, and you could kind of bring in that's kind of like the new generation of teens, and just put vampires into it.
That I think it should be newer too, because like I don't know, they updated it for 2017 from like the 50s to the 80s with like the flashbacks or like the whole fucking first movie. But I think if they kind of updated a little bit and like they don't all have to look like how they did in the original, just because like they look so cool. Like I just wanted to see modernized, but still like
Like
I
the
don't know.
blueprint of the. Yeah,
Yeah,
exactly. Like the blueprint of the Lost Boys.
yeah, just modern and like, and it also seems kind of weird because it looks like it's gonna be like a younger cast, just because like I said, the original one is just like sex appeal everywhere.
Big time.
And that's gonna be weird. I don't want that really so much
Mm-mm.
in the new one, but I just want it to be cool. But like, I don't want it to try too hard to be cool. I just want it to be cool.
Yeah, exactly. So I'm not opposed to it. I know the whole reason for remakes is just so that the brand could still be alive. But I'm like with you, folks. There's just some movies you do not touch. I will actually probably going to get in trouble, but I actually don't mind a Jaws remake if it's practical. If it's CGI, I want none of it. But you know Hollywood, they're going to make it CGI. So I'm on the side. I don't want it. The one I definitely don't want is The Exorcist. That the whole David Gordon Green's doing and all that. I don't feel like we need it. The Exorcist is such a 5-star classic. So I just don't touch perfection, guys. Don't ever do it. And then, but with the Lost Boys, I welcome a remake. I have no issue with that. As long as it's good and it doesn't try too hard to be like the Replicate 87. I want them to be their own thing.
Yeah, I agree.
And then, what's going on? Casteller Garcia, Jacob's wife, good modern vampire flick. Yes, and we did not too long ago, and we talked about that because they had a 1-year anniversary recently.
Yeah, I really, really enjoy Jacob's Wife. I thought it was pretty great.
And then Destiny, we found Keith. This is Keith. Yes, this is Keith, and he says D. Wallace.
D. Wallace.
Yeah, D. Wallace.
What a woman.
And then we got Ben Graham, what's going on, saying they were making a Lost Boys show for the CW, but I guess the pilot was horrible and it got canceled. Thank God it did, because CW is where most TV shows go to die.
Really?
Yeah, like old classic 2000s CW shows were the shit, but that I grew up with that, so of course I'm going to have a little bias in there. But the newer ones now, I'm like, what the hell are these shows? Like, it's not the OC. It's not, well, no, OC's Fox, but it's not One Tree Hill. It's not.
Like shit like that was on there?
Yeah, that kind, like, pretty much like the best one you can do is I Know What You Did Last Summer. That is the most CW type feel movie of all time, but it works because Kevin Williamson made it work.
Okay, I see what you mean.
Yeah, exactly. So I don't have an issue with that. And then Brother Fluff, what's going on, my friend? They should have Kiefer Sutherland play the Max role. I wouldn't mind that. I thought it'd be cool. Yeah, like it could be cool. I even think like Corey Feldman could be like a grandfather, kind of like how the grandfather was in the original.
Yeah,
just
that would be cool.
Get like just a little nod, not like too big, because I don't know. Like I'm sure they'll try and get him involved some way.
Yeah, I mean that would be pretty cool. I would like to see him come back in some way. If they can get like just different Lost Boys come back with like different little parts, I think that would be pretty cool.
Oh yeah, very cool indeed. And everybody in the chat's agreeing with you, Destiny. Do not remake Jaws. So I'm gonna shut my mouth. So we're gonna move on to the next part before I get any more trouble. Oh, do you have anything else in the 80s?
I have two. One I have not seen, one I have. The one I have not seen is called I Was a Teenage Zombie, because I do want to watch this movie just because the title. I think that would be fun. It looks like a horror comedy. And then the other one I have, which is one of the fucking craziest movies ever, called Blood Diner.
Oh my gosh, yes. Because I remember us briefly describing it, like in a previous episode, because again, they can't determine when exactly it comes out, but I remember us talking about that because I want to see that damn movie.
Yeah, Blood Diner is absolutely insane. None of it like almost makes sense. And it's kind of crazy because I didn't realize like a woman directed it, because I think what this movie is almost sort of like a little remake of the movie Blood Feast, which I have not seen. But Blood Diner, it's like directed by a woman, and it's like there's a whole scene when they're doing like like dancing, like you know how they would do like a group of like dancing, like working out dancing,
Oh yes.
and they're all topless.
What?
Yeah.
Oh my
So
god.
I was like, oh, and she like joked about it. She's like, I know this is just what people wanted, so like I put it in there because like I wanted my movie to get made. And it's
Oh my
like,
gosh.
it's kind of crazy how like what women used to have to do to like, you know, get their time to shine. But Blood Diner is just so much fun. It's just so silly and wacky, and it's not that good, but that's what makes it charming.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, good luck trying to find it. I feel like it's
Yeah,
impossible to
I'm
find.
having zero failure finding it, and I'm mad.
The only way I watch this, and this is probably not legal, and I'm sorry because I do pay for my movies, but Blood Diner is kind of hard to find. I was
Mhm.
in a group. I was at the Horror Virgin because they are covering the movie Blood Diner, and one of the guys that does a podcast, he found a link to it to like Roku, so it was like on a Roku app. So you know,
Huh.
maybe it was okay, maybe it was legal, but that's how I watched it, was through a link
Oh
on to
man.
Roku. So maybe if I can find it, I'll try to send it to you.
Yeah, please do, because like just that one particular scene you just mentioned. But just
There's
on the other
just
side, but on the other side of that, though, it is kind of shitty that she has to add a scene like that just so for a movie to be made versus just relying on her talent. So I
yeah.
kind of think that's shitty.
It's like the same thing with Summer Party Massacre, the original,
Mm-hmm.
because a woman wrote and directed those movies. But the whole opening scene when they're in the shower and they're naked and they're all turning towards each other, like she put that in there because she was like, I know this is what people want. And
Mm-hmm.
so I'm going to put it in there to try to hurry up and get all that over with. Even though there is somewhere like nudity throughout the movie, but she was like,
Right.
here it is. Here. I'm going to give it to you as much as I can in this one scene so we don't have to include a lot more because
Yeah.
it's a lot.
Here you go, horny teenagers. Here it is.
Literally.
Just love it. And now would you finally pay attention to my movie? But
Yeah. Which
yeah,
I
but
love Summer Party
it still
Massacre.
sucks. It really does. Like
It
it really
does.
it buzzed me out because it's so like the different like in the past and now, because now more female directors are getting treated a lot more seriously, which I'm glad we got that improvement.
Definitely. That is something good. I still think it's not equal
Mm-hmm.
and it probably won't ever be like genuinely
Which is
equal.
which is a shame.
Yeah, but I feel like now like it's a lot better. It's a
Oh
lot
yeah,
better than how it used to be.
I would say 50 times or at least 5 times better.
55 somewhere.
I was about to say 50. I'm like, Paul, that's probably extreme. I was about to say 100, but I'm like, no, and that would be fixing the problem. But
Yeah.
so what's going on, Wolfman? Mega Movie C's, what's going on? And Andy Smith, what's going on? So there are like 13 to 14 people in the chat. I'm doing the best I can to keep up with you guys, but we appreciate
Wow.
you all being here. They really want us to talk about Fear Street. I think that's why they're here, because that's our main
I don't
event
blame them.
topic. But do you have anything else for the 80s and even in the 90s? Because I had zero for the 90s.
I have two from 1992, which hopefully these did come out when they say they did. If you didn't find them, because I have Buffy the Vampire Slayer, the movie,
Yes.
which love that movie. I've only seen it once, and that wasn't that long ago. That was this year that I watched it for the first time. But I think that movie's pretty great. And then I have Death Becomes Her on July 30th, which again, I watched that movie, I think either last year or the year before that, for the first time. I found like a copy of it on VHS at Goodwill.
Oh,
and so I
nice.
watched it on my VCR, and that movie is so much fun. Have you seen Death Becomes Her?
I've never heard of it until you just mentioned it, but just for you to find it on VHS with you being such a big VHS collector.
The cover's amazing. Let me see if I can go get it. But it has Meryl Streep, Bruce Willis. Let me go get it.
What? Yeah, that's already a big cast right there.
I know. Hold on, I'll be right back.
Yeah, find it real quick because I'm very interested. Oh, don't hurt yourself. And guys, apologize for the coughing. I'm doing the best I can trying to mute it so I don't freaking like hurt your ears. But let's see here. Mega Movie C saying Happy Halloween Eve. Yes, sir.
Okay.
Oh, you found it?
Yes. And it has Goldie Hawn. That's who this is.
Oh, I've seen the cover before.
Yeah. The movie is just so much fun. It's really great. It's a great like horror like comedy. Um the whole premise of it's so silly, but it is so good. And a lot of the effects still hold up. And it's like amazing because this specific part, you know, she has a hole through her stomach.
Oh my God.
And it looks so good. So definitely recommend that one.
Okay,
Have you seen Buffy the Vampire Slayer, the movie?
I've not seen the movie or the show, and I know Chris Snyder in the chat shoot me because I promised to start watching it, but I just keep on getting damn busy.
I know. I wanted to watch it this year too. I want to try to watch all of it this year.
I'm saying next year
started.
will be our. I say next year will have to be our year because we got such a busy remainder of the year with the schedule.
Yeah, and I'm trying to watch like 300 movies before this year is over with. I'm on like 153.
What you're on? What damn? So you gotta catch up.
I gotta catch up. And you know what the problem is?
Burnout.
Stranger Things.
Oh yeah.
And Burnout. Mm-hmm. Stranger Things. Stranger Things has like taken over my life to where I don't even want to fucking watch a movie. I want to watch Stranger Things stuff. So it's pretty bad over here.
Yeah, it's not good. And you know what? I don't blame you. Don't fucking blame you. Anyways, before I get freaking emotional over here.
Cry.
I know. Dadgummit, Destiny. Did you find anything from 97?
No.
Nothing for 97.
I lied.
Dadgummit, why'd you lie to me?
I found Uncle Sam for...
Yes, because we just watched out on the last drive-in.
Yeah, it says July 4th, so I guess I'll take their word for it. Uncle Sam, which I do want to rewatch that because I had already seen the kill count before it was on the last drive-in, but I had fallen asleep like right towards the ending of it. I was like, damn it, because I stayed up for almost the entire first episode, and I was really like enjoying it, but I fucking...
Yeah, oh my gosh, especially the ending of it, like, was balls to the wall crazy too with the explosion.
Eddie is amazing, but yeah, I need to finish Uncle Sam. I want to rewatch it because I did enjoy it from what I saw before I fell asleep.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah, it's just fun, and my main thing with it is it has such creative kills, and if you could be creative with your kills, you sold me.
Yeah, I mean, it's a slasher movie. Let's have some fun with it.
Exactly, and we had that, and I had fun with it. Plus, having fun with like Joe Bob and Darcy and everybody makes movies so much funner. So, if you've not seen The Last Drive-In before, this is not a paid promotion. Highly suggested because Destiny got me involved with it last year.
It's such a great time, and it gives you something to look forward to for like so many weeks just in a row, and it's nice because like every week, if I was having like a bad day at work, I was like, Last Drive-In's on Friday, so just have to make it to that.
Oh yeah, exactly. And then plus it shows newer movies too they kind of get to appreciate as well.
Yeah, because there's a lot of movies that I hadn't heard about before The Last Drive-In. I feel like this season though was my best, which I don't like is like whenever they show a movie and it's a movie I've already seen, I'm like, son of a bitch.
Well,
so like
at least
I
you
want to
can
watch
sleep
you.
while I have to freaking stay up and watch it.
That's true. But here's my thing. Like 3 weeks in a row, they would show the movie I had already seen first and the movie I hadn't seen second, and I always fall asleep by the
you're
second.
You're always asleep.
So I like had seen like the girl at the end of the street.
Yes.
And then I had seen Butcher Baker, Nightmare Maker. So I had seen those two first, and then it was like The Baby for the next one. And Housebound for the second one.
Yeah, Housebound.
I was like, son of a bitch. So I had to like go back and like.
And I was over here. It was like, she told me to try to. And when I try, you're like, shut the fuck up, Brett. And then you put me like you just like ignore the call. You just go right back to sleep. Like,
and I don't remember doing that. And that's really funny because I am a really light sleeper. And then when you told me that one time, you're like, yeah, like you answered the phone and talked. I was like.
Oh, you didn't even talk. You didn't even talk. You just like ignored, like fuck this guy.
There was one that you said I did answer, and I was like, I'm awake.
Oh yeah, that was it. I'm like, okay, great. 5 minutes later,
I wasn't awake
gone.
Because I don't recall doing that, and I was like, what the fuck?
You were sleep talking. That was it.
I was.
Oh my gosh! But yeah, if we officially quit doing that, we just let you sleep. But
yeah, towards the end, I was like, I can't. I just can't do it.
yeah, that's like that part of me is gone. But was that it for the 70s?
Yeah.
Okay, great. So we're gonna jump into 2002, and really don't want to talk about this movie. Really don't. It's Halloween Resurrection of 2002. Came out on July the 12th. Chad's favorite Halloween movie of all time. Fuck you, Chad, for trying to spread the gossip on this movie. Um, I'm gonna say my thoughts because we got Halloween Scream coming up. But Destiny, I'm just gonna let you take care of this one. Plus, I just fucking hate this movie.
You know what? This is kind of like Joss Ford to me, to where like I don't hate it as much as a lot of people do. If I ever just want to watch, because I get in these moods to where I just want to watch a bad movie, a movie that I know is bad, but I can still have fun with it. And that's what this movie is to me. Like, if I ever just want to watch just a bad movie, I'll either put this one on or Final Destination 4. So I can just watch it to laugh at it. And so, like, I watched Halloween Resurrection not that long ago. So I was like, in that mood, I was like, I just need to watch something that's bad, but that I know is bad. Because like I think it still has like some fun in it. Like I think a lot of it is pretty stupid, but I can have fun with it. It's just one of those movies, and I watched it so much as a kid. It was probably one of my favorites to watch as a kid, besides like the original 4 and 5 and H2O, because those are always, that's hard to say. I feel like the whole franchise I watched a lot as a kid, but I remember watching Halloween Resurrection a lot at my dad's, mainly because I remembered the lead actress, because I always thought she was so pretty. I always thought she was so cool, even though like now I'm like, she's so beautiful. Her character is like so forgettable, but
oh my gosh, I think I already forgot her name. Was it Sarah?
Sarah, yeah. And I know the actress's name is like Bianca. But
and the funny part, the only thing I remember about her is she was such a bad screamer. They had to add in a scream effect or like a replacement scream, and I was like,
Katie Sackhoff, the one that plays the blonde friend, did most of her screams.
Oh my god!
Which I think is great.
How do we not like notice that before? It's like, God, that scream sounds familiar.
Yeah, because like now I think knowing that, and I went back and I was like, oh yeah, you can hear that that's her. But have you seen Katie Sackhoff like react to Halloween Resurrection?
I have not. You
should watch it. It's a lot of fun. She posted it like on her YouTube channel, and it's great because she was doing a lot of like insights to the movie, and like she knows it's like bad, but she's like having fun, and she's still like, she doesn't hate that she did it. She's still just like, she's another person that seems so fucking cool. I wish she was in a lot more horror movies. Like she's in Oculus, but like I want to see her in a lot.
Yeah, like she has a look. Like she has a look for horror.
She has a look. Too. She has the scream. She can play like different characters so well. So I hope to see her.
I would say her as a witch would be amazing.
She would be great. She would be so great.
Perfect. And then I saw a comment up here. Let me. Not the sex bot, but Burnt Dice. Welcome to Good Real Hunting, my friend. Saying I liked Resurrection. It wasn't great, but it was fun. And I guess the only thing I will mention, the thing I did like, and warming up to the fact, is it did play with the whole like live stream technology before it was even a thing, and I thought that was really cool. But other than that, I will save my thoughts because they are not very friendly on here.
I think it's a good movie to like. Not like hate watch, because I don't hate it, but it's just like that feeling of just like, I think it's a good movie to watch with like a group of friends. A group of friends drinking, knowing that it's bad. I think it's one of those just movies that's like, y'all want to watch something not good and to laugh at? Let's put on Halloween Resurrection, and I'm sure we'll have a good time. That's how I feel like that movie is for me.
Hell yeah. Like that does sound like that one. Like Dad, like you said earlier, Final Destination 4. And I would even throw Sea of Chucky in there. But I know you like it, but that's like for me. But yeah.
I think maybe I just like bad movies. Maybe that's my issue. I just like bad movies.
Hey, there's nothing wrong with that. And then what's going on, Cole, buddy of mine, saying it had the reality aspect that was super popular then, American Pie feel, and you have Busta Rhymes, who had just come out hot from the 80s and 90s run. You know what? That's very true as well.
Yeah, it does. It has sort of like like you said, like American Pie, but it's definitely not as raunchy. Like it's nowhere near. It has like sort of a Scream. I know you did last summer. Like it feels very much teen horror, even though there's a lot of teens throughout the other Halloween movies. This one feels more of like a teen horror movie, and it's not super bloody. Neither is the original, but still, you know, at this point, like it's really not that gory. I feel like most of the kills aren't memorable, except the guy with the tripod kill.
Yes.
There's though, because if you've ever seen Peeping Tom, I don't know if this is supposed to be a homage, but it's exactly how people die in Peeping Tom, like first
Ooh,
or
okay.
like POV shot, you know, being stabbed. So Peeping Tom is great, but you know, it has some good stuff in it, just not, you know, a lot, but it has qualities.
Yeah, like it's not perfect, but like I will say I do respect it a tad bit more, but it still frustrates me. But again, I'm gonna save those thoughts for Hell Scream when we do that review. I would probably say at the top of my head, mid-September, from what I remember with the schedules. So, any other thoughts with Resurrection? All right, so we got one more from 2002, and then honestly, we could really just jump into the 2021 unless if Destiny finds something. But the last
That's
2002,
crazy. I have quite a few movies
oh damn,
from
man,
2000,
I must have done a bad job then.
or
But
maybe these are all just wrong.
well, hey, we'll figure it out. Plus, there's not that one website, remember? So, but we did the best we can on here. But this is the movie I had Destiny watch, and this is Eight-Legged Freaks. The main reason is because you see on there David Arquette. This came out in 2002, July the 17th. So, Destiny, what were your initial thoughts on Eight-Legged Freaks?
You know, there was this spider movie I watched as a kid, and I don't know if it was this one or not because I can't remember anything about it. But I remember there being a big ass spider in it. But I feel like that's how most spider movies are. And I
Always.
feel like I need to watch more spider movies because I feel like I haven't seen enough of them. I have not seen Arachnophobia. That's one
Yeah,
I
I
want
was about
to
to
watch.
ask you, so have you seen that one?
No, but obviously David Arquette, and it's crazy because this is 2 years after Scream 3, and I feel like he looked different in this movie.
Hmm.
But I know also I don't know when he started like doing the wrestling shit, but I feel like he looks just so much younger in this movie compared to Scream 3, but maybe they try to make him look a little bit more older in that movie. But you know, spiders, I'm not the biggest fan of. For the
Hmm.
most part, I'm not the kind of person that does freak out usually. Um, the other day, and I took a picture. And I sent it because Braden's terrified, like of spiders. That's his like number one thing. And if I ever see a spider, I'm like, look what was in my house. The other day, I was taking a shower, and I'm like washing my hair, and I like look up. There's a spider with 6 legs.
Oh.
6. It's like, where the fuck are your other 2 legs at, buddy? And it's like walking around all weird. And then at one point, it gets on like the 3 side legs and has one like curving in. I was just like, what the fuck is this spider doing? Because I've never seen a spider act like this. I sent a picture to Brayden. His first thing was like, where the fuck are its other 2 legs? I was like, I don't fucking know. I don't know what's going on. I
I
saw
was like
3
that.
spiders that day in my shower.
Oh my gosh,
3.
they're nesting in there.
Don't say that to me.
I'm
And
sorry,
then
like, but that's what it sounds like.
I watched this movie yesterday, and then yesterday I'm sitting there on my phone, you know, and I look up because I could see something moving out the corner of my eye. So I look up, the biggest spider I've ever seen in my house. This fucking big, huge, fucking huge. And this one I did freak out on. Okay, because I'm like, this thing is fucking big, and I was like, Bailey was like playing his game. I was like, Bailey, I need you to come here right now. I was like, dude, come here right fucking now. And he killed it because it was huge. And Brayden said it was a wolf spider.
No,
Not
not a
good.
wolf spider.
Not good. You don't want to get bit by one of those.
Nope.
We have spiders really bad here. Really fucking bad. But anyways, yeah, watching this movie, a bunch of spiders, and then seeing a huge ass spider in my house was not good. After seeing a big ass snake, it was just not it was a weird day yesterday.
You are a rodent like whisperer or something.
I must be. They must love me because that snake, one of the biggest snakes I've ever seen with my own eyes out in the wild. Fucking huge as fuck. So, you know, yesterday was a weird day. But Eight-Legged Freaks. It's fun. It's a good time. It's just watching spider movies make me feel a little bit uneasy because I don't like them.
I don't
Especially
like
on
spider.
me.
Yeah, so I don't like spiders either. I had to kill 2 Black Widows in my lifetime. Once is enough because one of them tried to kill my dog. Because like I had a Chihuahua, so if that Black Widow
Not the
bit that
Chihuahua.
Chihuahua, the Chihuahua would
Dead.
have been she would have been dead. So I had to like go in the cage and just smack it with my foot. And then my mom saw one, and I just went in there, just smacked it again. And she's like, "That's not a Black Widow." Yeah, do you not see the red cross? And she goes, "Oh my gosh, it is a Black Widow." It's like, Brett, you idiot! Why'd you do that? I'm like, "Well, you're welcome." But no,
Literally.
but no, she was just being mom mode and just like
Like,
wanted to protect me.
yeah.
So.
I've been bitten by a spider before. I
Oh
still
yeah.
don't know what kind it was. We had gone camping and I had gotten bit while we were there. And then I went back home and it kept getting bigger and bigger and it itched. So I kept scratching it, which then turned into a staph infection, which then left a fucking hole in my leg, like a black hole in my leg. It was leaking pus and blood. It was disgusting. So I have like a tiny hole, like scar in my leg from whenever I had it.
Ouch.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Not a
Well,
fun time.
I'm glad you're okay. Let's just throw
Me
that
too.
out there. I'm glad you're okay.
I literally thought I was gonna have to get like crutches or something because it hurt so bad to walk. Like it had gotten pretty bad, and I was like, "Mom."
Oh, I remember. I remember that story.
Yeah, I was like, I need to go to a doctor because I don't want my leg to rot off. Because that's what it looked like. It looked like that hole was like starting to like turn like gray, and I was like, "This isn't good. This is not okay."
No, that's not a. So, but again, I'm glad you're better. And you're freaking there still to do high jump kicks and just being Destiny. So that's awesome.
Glad I'm here too.
And then we got also here is Chase Moser from Moser Movie Reviews. What's going on, Chase?
Hey, Chase.
And we got Galford's dog. What's going on?
Hi.
And then we also got Mentalic. What's going on, my friend?
Hello.
All right, so let me check the chats real quick. Everybody's scared. Yeah, Ashton says 8-Legged Freaks is such a fun movie. I do have that on my watch list, so I'm glad you liked it. So, at least not the Spire part, but you like the other parts of it. So I'm going to watch it in the future. And yeah, everybody else is terrified of spiders in the chat, so we'll move on with that. So anything else you found in the 2000s, and surprisingly to me, in the 2010s?
Yeah, so from 2007, I Know Who Killed Me, which I have not seen, but I think it should still be on Hulu. This is
that
like
Lindsay Lohan's movie?
Yes, it
Okay.
is. Yes. I have not seen it, but I know she's in it. I know she plays sort of like, I think she plays like a stripper or like exotic dancer, and then she gets killed, and there's like, I can't
Like
remember
a whole
if there's
big
like
mystery.
Yeah, and it's trying to figure out who killed her. That's like what the movie is. And then I found one that's not a movie, but it's a documentary called Blood and Fire Memories with Tom Savini, and it's the Burning documentary. Have not seen it. Didn't even know it was a thing, honestly, but you know. I thought that was pretty cool.
Till me till today, so I'm going to have to watch it because I love Tom Savini.
And The Burning, I think, it's a good movie. I think I was like a little bit let down from The Burning because I feel like it has such this hype around it. And it has like good moments, but besides those good moments, I'm like, oh, it's like a little bit slow. But
yeah, that's why it's a 4.5. If it has like a little bit of an upper pace, it would have been a golden reel for me. Like
yeah, there's those moments in between are just like a little bit too slow, and the ending was way dragged out, and I didn't like the ending that much. And it had like spatial like confusion. I was like, where are we? Where the fuck are we right now? But it's still a fun movie.
Oh yeah, it's still such a fun movie, and that's to me. It's going back to remakes real quick. I fucking want a remake of The Burning immediately because they would do such a good job with that.
I agree because you can still capture that camp 70s 80s feel from a movie we'll talk about later. You could still like emulate that, and it still maybe doesn't feel as authentic, but I'm like, I can believe that this is like the 70s or the 80s.
Right.
So I think it could happen.
Oh, easily it could. And that was from 2000. Those were from 2007, right?
Yes. And then from 2012, on July 8th, there's a movie that Daniel Harris has directed called Among Friends. I've tried watching it. I tried, and it just looks so cheap.
Oh,
It looks
well,
so cheap,
damn.
and like the people in it aren't, that great. It just feels like the April Fool's Day remake. Like the camera quality, terrible. The production
Acting.
value, not good. The acting, not good. It feels like a movie just like that. And I didn't even finish it. Like I watched like the first 10 minutes and I was like, I can't do this. Like, sorry, Danielle. I wanted to watch it for you, but I couldn't do it. So
Did you ask her that at the convention yesterday?
no, I didn't end up meeting anyone yesterday.
Really?
It was so chaotic.
Oh yeah.
I couldn't do it. Me and Maddie both have anxiety, and I was like, I can't do it. I just can't. I'm so mad at myself because I wanted to meet them yesterday because I liked our outfits better yesterday.
Mm-hmm.
But yesterday was busier. We should have just went Friday and met them.
Met them at Vengeance.
Because like Friday, it was pretty busy, but it was not packed. Like even at points like Daniel Harris, there's like maybe 7 people in her line. Like that's not bad at all.
Oh,
Because,
that's actually really damn good.
Yeah,
for her
because
line.
then yesterday, almost a whole corner was trying to meet her, and I was like, oh my god, we fucked up. So next year, if I go again on Friday and Saturday, I'm going to make sure
to meet them all on Friday and
Friday.
then do all the other fun stuff Saturday.
Exactly. But next year. But what were we talking about? Oh, Among Friends.
Yes.
Yeah, not that good. Sorry.
Not that good.
Another one that I have from 2012, and this is a movie I had just watched like a couple of weeks ago, maybe 3 weeks ago at this point, called Killer Joe.
Okay.
It has Matthew McConaughey in it. It says something about like trailer park on the front. Like it's a white trash sort of movie, which I love. I've said it many times. I love shit like this. Like he plays like this villain. He plays like, I think he's like a cop, but he also like kills people on the side or something like that. Like he's like a detective, but he also is like a murderer. So like it's pretty cool.
That's interesting.
Like it's kind of weird. Oh, it also has I forget his name, but I mainly know him from Easy A. He plays like the teacher in Easy A that Emma Stone is like friends with.
Me that?
Oh, he plays like Sandman.
Yeah, I'll say I'm trying to remember his damn name now. That's gonna kill me.
But he has like such a specific voice. But he plays in Killer Joe, and he kind of plays like this dumb, like redneck kind of person. But he's still like sweet in a way. Like I feel really bad for him. But Killer Joe, it's a pretty good movie. Because like on Letterboxd, it has like great reviews, and I gave it like a 3.5 out of 5. I was between like a 3.5 and a 4, so I recommend it.
Hell yeah, I'll have to add it to the list. And what's going on, Beth? Killer Joe? Question mark.
Killer Joe. Matthew McConaughey. He plays Killer Joe, and they live in a trailer park, and I love it. So
hell yeah,
give it a watch. Love seeing trailers in horror.
Hey,
representation.
Strangers Pray at Night.
Strangers Pray at Night. Stranger Things season 4. Eddie Munson, my boy. Him and I are the same. Trailer trash, and I love it. Trailer trash. I'm like, oh.
Hashtag of this episode, trailer trash.
Trailer trash. And I'm not making fun of because I am. Therefore, I'm allowed to. But I love it. I was like, wow. And then there's a picture of Joseph Quinn, and he was vaping. I was like, he's just like me.
Oh, okay. Yeah, it's like your soulmates.
I saw Mia sent me the picture. I was like, wow.
Soulmates. Like
soulmates. What can I say?
Bro, sorry. I gotta do this.
No.
YOLO.
I keep seeing interviews about him talking about like Americans, and I'm like, oh god.
Oh, not
like
good.
The chances just he doesn't hate Americans. He thinks, which he was in California.
Oh, okay.
It's probably not the best place to get like acquainted with Americans. You know, it's just like that's not how we all are. There's a part there that's so fucking funny. Is like I feel like for the most part, if someone bumps into me and they're like, oh, I'm sorry, my natural reaction would be like, oh, you're good. You know, you're good. He hates that. He's like, I know I'm good, but I'm sorry. And I was just like, okay, gotta change that. And there's so many funny TikToks about it, like Americans like recreating it and just be like, because you don't know what to say because you don't want to say you're good. Right. There's just a lot of shit about it. That the podcast episode he was on, it was so fucking funny. But yeah, I'm like, wow. Or there was something to do with like a waiter and a server, which I feel like here we interchange it like waiter and server, But I feel like where he was, like, and then where he lives, it's like the opposites. And he's like, that was something kind of weird. There's just like weird things that we say. And like, yeah, we definitely do say that.
We say a lot of fucked up. We all say a lot of fucked up shit here in America.
Yeah, it's like, I'm sorry. Oh, you're good.
But we're not all like
I'm
that.
good.
Oh
I was
my
like,
God.
I
know.
I'm not trying to be rude. It's like, what do you want us to say? Damn.
Just
But
love me.
then it's funny to see all the girls or like just all the TikToks turn it around on like him and be like, what am I supposed to say? Like, oh, jolly good fellow, you're all right, something like that. So it's like he was kind of making fun of us, like what we say, and now people are like, well, what the fuck do you say? So it's like, you might be hot, but
I forgive
we'll call
you.
you out as well for saying some shit. I'm sure it's just culture shock. I couldn't imagine just going to somewhere for like probably a while. I'm like, yeah, shit's weird. Like things are very weird. But
yeah, especially now where like he was just doing like little stuff, and then all of a sudden Stranger Things,
huge,
bam, instant star.
Shock. I'm sure he's probably like, what the fuck?
Yeah,
but yeah,
like, because he did get emotional at that one convention too, which that won me.
I will
over.
cry.
Yeah, I know. Okay, so what before that happens? What's going on? Return to Living Fled. What's going on, Kyle?
Hi, Kyle.
Okay, and what's that it for 2000? Or did you have anything else for 2017?
I do have 2 from 2017. One I haven't seen. One I have. So the first one from July 21st is a movie called Killing Ground.
Okay.
This movie is one of the saddest horror movies I have ever seen. And the only other person I know that have seen it that I've talked to is Jason Knight, because it's an Australian horror movie. And then I watched Spooky Astronauts, who lives in Australia. She's talked about it a couple of times. But like for the most part, I almost never see anyone talk about this movie. It is so fucking sad. I like bawled my eyes out because there's something there's a baby involved, and he's one of the cutest babies I've ever seen. He's like maybe 2 because he can walk around. Aww. One of the cutest babies, and just a lot of upsetting shit happens, and you don't know exactly what happens in the end, if the baby is alive or not. And so the thought about it fucking crushes my soul. It's really sad. It's a really sad movie.
Now the one,
and it's graphic, like trigger warnings. Like look them up if you're sensitive to shit like that. Obviously, I just mentioned shit happens to a baby, like the baby gets injured, but other shit happens that is not good. It's a fucked up movie.
Yeah, I have no you lost me on that one, so I'm like,
no, there's like
I can't do it.
There's rape, there's babies being injured, obviously murder, there's shit. Like it's a pretty heavy movie. Because I watched it when I was with my ex, and his grandma was like, oh, this movie is really good, because it was on fucking Netflix. And she's like, oh, it's really good. And I was like, okay, cool. Like, let's watch it. And I'm watching it. And then I was like, what the fuck?
Like, and
why would you recommend that? And I was like crying. She's like, why are you crying? I was like,
the baby.
The fucking baby. Ollie deserved better. What do you mean? Yeah. So,
watch at your own risk.
Literally. Like, just warning. And then I tweeted about how this is one of the most like fucked up movies I've ever seen. And me and this person, like they were on something. They had to be, because they were just fucking like, they pretty much called me like sensitive and like said I was a baby.
Oh, that one.
And then you remember that day?
Yeah, I was like, oh, they're in for a hell of a day with Destiny.
I was like, I'm fucking sensitive because sexual assault and a baby being hurt upsets me. Fuck you. I don't care if I'm sensitive. No, maybe I just have like sympathy. Maybe I just not a fucking psychopath. How about that? And then so they started it, and they're like, oh my god, this is like the saddest movie I've ever seen. Why would you like recommend this? And I was like, fuck you. I didn't recommend it. I was just saying, and you chose that to watch at your own risk, said I was sensitive, and now you're crying. Go fuck yourself. I don't care how you feel. And then they blocked me.
Oh my god. Well, you know what? They'll regret to live that someday. But yeah, no, I remember that. I'm like, well, good luck to this person, because Destiny is about to school them. But
literally, it was like, and usually I try not to like argue with people.
No, but
that fucking pissed me off.
Some people legit ask for it. But
literally, like me and you are about to fight right now.
Mm-hmm.
And then
they will lose.
and they will lose because I was not having that shit. Anyways,
Mhm.
but the other one is called It Stains the Sand Red.
Okay.
And I don't know if I'm getting this mixed up with another movie, and I think I am. I think I am. I think I am because there's a movie called The Hills Run Red, and I know Leah's talked about that one a lot. I'm pretty sure because it has like
Mhm.
the poster with like a baby cracked doll face or something.
Ooh.
But I feel like I've also heard of It Stains the Sand Red, so I just saw it and I was like, oh, I kind of recognize that title.
Hell yeah.
That's it.
There you go. That's it from 2017.
Hmm.
All right. So damn, Destiny did her homework, which I appreciate you doing that for me. Hell yeah. So because I was worried, I was like, Dave, there's nothing in the 2010s. Like I know I'm fucking up somehow, but here is how we're gonna do this with 2021. We're gonna talk about quickly with these 5 particular movies, just real quickly, because again, we're going to get to the main thing here in a minute. So for 2021, I got the Forever Purge, which is the 5th movie in the Purge franchise that came out on July the 2nd. What also came out was Till Death with, oh my gosh, why am I blanking
Megan
on her name?
Fox.
Yeah, Megan Fox. I was about to say Jennifer Check, but yeah, with,
Either or.
yeah, Jennifer Check. Just kidding. Megan Fox, that came out last year. That was her welcome back into the horror genre. And then we have Escape Room 2 Tournament of Champions that came out on July the 16th of 2001. We also have Midnight Shyamalan's movie of Old from 2021 that came out last year, July the 23rd. And lastly, and was a little hidden gem that Destiny you told me about, was Blood Red Sky that came out on July the 24th of 2021.
Yeah.
Yeah, so just real quickly with those 5 movies, and I can help you because I know I threw a lot at you right there. So what? Just
Hey,
quick
if it
thoughts on
makes you
each
feel
one.
better, I have like 4 more, not including
What?
Fear Street. Yeah.
Oh shit. Okay,
Okay.
well let's go ahead and add on top of that too. If then we'll just freaking talk about all that,
All of
and
them.
then we'll get to the main event.
Okay. So, which I haven't seen most of these, but I've seen one of them. Um, there's a movie called Werewolves Within, which I've heard is really good. It's like a horror comedy, and I want to watch it so bad because I feel like I've heard Victoria and Tony talk about it a lot, or maybe it might be a different movie, but I do want to watch that one because it seems like a fun time. The other one, this is one I had started and then I gotten busy and then I stopped watching it and I still haven't finished it, but it's on Amazon Prime. It's called Meander. And I think it's like someone gets stuck somewhere, something like
It
that. Like,
sounds very familiar.
yeah, like the cover of it looks like almost like an air vent. It like looks like an industrial sort of thing. So
Okay.
that should still be on Amazon Prime. There's a movie called A Classic Horror Story, which I believe is on Netflix that I want to watch because I've heard it's pretty like weird. It's like they're like traveling somewhere, then all of a sudden like everything changes around them, and they're like stuck in this like alternating like horror movie, I guess, something like that. I don't really know.
Okay.
And then one I have seen called Great White, which is
Shark
not
movie.
good. It's not good. It's on Shudder. This movie was just it's just boring. It was like kind of like it's okay. It's nothing we haven't really seen before. And the fucking ending was so stupid. Oh my god. I just remembered that. There is spoiler warning, but I don't recommend no, I don't want to say I don't recommend it. Watch it if you want to. Spoiler warning though. There's a part where the guy was like because there's like I think 3 or maybe 2 great white sharks that they're like going against and they were like the guy was like they're gonna go together and like kill him. It's like a boyfriend and a girlfriend. And then he fucking pushes her, turns around, goes to shoot the shark, misses, and then gets eaten.
What?
And he was such a good character the whole time. Like he was like the strong one. And I was like, how dumb can you fucking be? Yeah, it was that part really pissed me off. And it's just like it's kind of like open water where a lot of it's just them sitting in water. Like they're just sitting on like a raft in the middle of the ocean. It's just like that. But there's just like dumb character decisions, like really dumb. Not even like, oh, like I know you need to progress the plot to be dumb. No, this is just stupid. I was like, okay, watch it if you want to. It should still be on Shudder. I'm glad I almost bought this like physical copy, and I'm so glad I did it.
It'd be a
it was like
doorstop.
$10, but I was like, wow,
It'd be a nice doorstop.
Yeah. And like the cover's cool.
along with another movie I gave you. So
yeah. Anyways, and then another one that I had, which is on Shudder as well, which I haven't seen, but I've heard pretty great things, and then I've heard like not so great things. So I don't know. But The Boy Behind the Door.
that sounds very familiar.
I remember watching the trailer one night, and it was like during the last drive-in where they have like those like in between like segments where it's like I remember seeing that. I was like, what is this movie? Because that looks really good. Like I know Dead Meat, they covered it on their Patreon for like their commentary, and they said they really enjoyed it. So, or like James and whoever watched it with them. I don't know if it was Chelsea or whoever, but so I want to watch it. It's just I think it's like a bit of a darker sort of movie.
Okay.
So I'm like trying to wait for like a good day to watch it because it has to do with like kids. Like it's kids.
Yeah.
So I don't really know exactly what goes on. Maybe something like The Black Phone, which I haven't seen, but I kind of know. Like
you need to see
a little.
The Black
I know.
You need to see it so bad.
I know. I want to. I'm like, damn, $20. So I really want to rent it, but I just went to the convention, so I'm just like waiting. But
it'll come out on it'll come out on Blu-ray here not too long. So
and it's probably one I'll just buy because I have a feeling I'll like it.
I'll tell you, you will. This is a buy.
Okay, perfect. So that's what I do. I don't really want to spend $20 just to watch it like once. So I'll wait till it comes out and then spend the $20.
And if I'm wrong, I'll reimburse you. So.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah, she's going to be like, I love this movie. Brett, it fucking sucks. But
no, literally. Oh my God, this is like the best movie I've ever seen. Brett, I fucking hated it. Give me $20.
Yeah. Yes, ma'am. and then move on. But yeah, I saw the Wolfman or another Wolfman, Robert the Wolfman, saying yes, Werewolf Within was lots of fun, and I saw another comment on lots of fun too. So yeah, there you go.
Gotta
it was Tory Tiger, and then I saw one other person mention it. Damn it! I'm sorry to the person I can't find that comment to, but so okay, double checking. And yeah, that was it for that. So anything else you want to describe on those movies before we just go quickly on those 5? Because all the ones you mentioned, I've never seen or heard before, but I'm glad I do now. So
nope, that's pretty much it for the ones that I had mentioned. But yeah, the other ones.
So I'll just instead of bringing them up, I'll just tell you real quickly. The Forever Purge. Thoughts?
Have not seen.
Me neither. So we can skip on that one. But yeah, I want to as well. And it's on HBO Max right now.
Yeah.
So
the trailer, I remember seeing the trailer for maybe like Malignant when we saw Malignant in theaters. And I was like, oh, this looks kind of interesting because again, it's set in like Texas and Mexico. And I just like movies that have like a southern like I really do enjoy that. I don't like westerns that aren't horror. Not a fan. My pawpaw, anytime I would go to my dad's house, he would have MASH on, and I hated it because I didn't like that stuff. But like Western horror movies, I am a fan of. So I do want to watch it though. It looks pretty cool. And it has the fucking guy, from Sweet Home Alabama.
Oh, the main guy.
Yes.
Oh yeah.
And I think that man is so fine. He is so hot.
Of course you do.
So I do want to watch it.
I'm telling Eddie on you.
No, look.
Eddie's
my number one. That's my number one right now.
No, I'm just messing. I have a good feeling. I have a good feeling he's going to be your number one for the rest of your life.
No, literally, because like everything else, every new thing that comes out about him, I'm just like, oh, okay. It does change often, but this one, I don't.
Yeah, that's that. And especially you got something beautiful you showed off on Wednesday.
Right over there, looking at me, right at me.
Oh yeah. He'll always be a part of you.
He'll live on forever.
On forever. And we could talk about this one because I rented this for us to watch because we were so curious. Till Death with Megan Fox.
Yeah, I really enjoyed Till Death, and I've seen it. I've seen it twice now. That first time, and then I did buy this when it came out, like in Walmart and stuff. I really enjoy it. I think Megan Fox is great. She doesn't play like a dumb character. Like she plays a smart character who's always trying to think of like what to do next. And I really liked it because like going in, it's not really a spoiler because it's known that like her husband like shoots himself and she's stuck to him. And I was like, how is that gonna play out? Like if we already know the main thing of the movie, but like it happens so fast early on, and then it's like the rest of the movie that's like was kind of a surprise. Like I knew
Right.
men showed up, but like I didn't know like how extreme it would go. But I thought Megan Fox is great in it. I wish she would have gotten dirtier. Like she's bloody, yeah.
Yeah,
But
that's
she
like she
still
looks
looks
too
way too
gorgeous.
good.
I know, but that's
I need
that's
mascara
cinema
running. I need messed
Yeah.
up hair because her hair looks perfect
in
at all
every
times.
shot.
Like I wanted to see her like because she likes that stuff. She said it in an interview for Jennifer's Body. Like she loves getting covered in blood and shit and like throw up. She's like, I'm all for like getting covered in like gross.
Right.
And that's what I wanted to see was like more gross because like in Jennifer's Body, she's pretty, you know, I wouldn't say gross. She still looks amazing, but the whole after part where she's like puking up the black bile, like she's pretty gross, and I love that. So I was hoping for more of that and more of like her just screaming. There's like a little bit, but like I wanted her to see her like lose her shit. But she's pretty steady. She's like level headed. So I did really enjoy the movie. I think it's a really good movie, like a one location sort of, for the most part, one location.
Isolated, cold.
Yeah, it's snowy. Everything's white, which is so great because like the snow plays in to like some of this stuff, which I think is pretty cool. But yeah, I really enjoyed Till Death.
Oh yeah, I enjoyed Till Death as well. I was just happy that Megan Fox back into the horror genre. So spot on. I don't have anything else added on to that. You killed it. Escape Room 2. Excuse me.
Haven't seen the first or second one, so I don't know anything.
I really like the concept, just not what we call the best execution. I've been hearing some that say the second is a little bit better, more fun, but I haven't seen the second one. But
I kind of heard the opposite.
Oh,
I heard the first one's really good, and I heard the second one's not good.
Oh, Finn, I need to watch it, Finn, to make that determination because I keep hearing back and forth things with it. So I'll add it to the list. Old, you've not seen Old, right?
No.
Good. Don't bother. It sucks. So that's all I'll say all about that because I got nothing nice to say about Old. I know Robbie Sobel loves that movie. I just told him I don't get it. But
there's another YouTuber I watched called Possessed by Horror. Sarah, she really enjoyed Old. I think I will watch it at some point. I'm just not in a rush.
Yeah, trust me, you take all the time in the world.
Because it has Alex Wolff.
Yeah,
and I used to be obsessed with the Naked Brothers band. Obsessed with this shit. Like before my One Direction, this was my little thing was the Naked Brothers band. So Nat and Alex Wolff, I was so happy. And then whenever I like got older and I realized like, oh, like they're like full on actors now and stuff. And they've been in obviously like Hereditary, and Nat Wolff was in My Friend Dahmer, and he was in some like John Green stuff. Like he was in The Fault in Our Stars, which I used to love. But to see them like growing up and like just acting and not really like they're not in their Naked Brothers band anymore. It was just always cool to see. I always had the crush on the older one. At the time I was older though, like and I was in second grade. I think the first one would have been. He just always looked so young. But now like Alex Wolff, yeah.
Oh yeah.
Alex Wolff, fine man. A fine man.
Good old Alex. And then the last one, again, the movie I said earlier, you mentioned this to me by, is Blood Red Sky. That's on Netflix. And Blood Red Sky, I really liked it. The thing that annoyed me the most was the whole, like, mouth, not like the words not matching the mouth, but when you told me it was, what you say, a German movie?
I can't remember exactly what it is now.
I forgot
but it's
the nationality of the movie. But
I think it might be German. Like, it's not.
I want to say German.
It's definitely, you know, it's like, it's not an American movie. So
yes,
a lot of it is dubbed.
American. Yeah, it's dubbed, but it's not dubbed good. But if you could kind of get past that, the story is freaking excellent.
Yeah.
And I thought it was a great idea of what they displayed. So I highly suggest Blood Red Sky on Netflix.
Yeah, because like at first I didn't realize it was. And then I was like watching it and I was like I don't mind dubbed movies. Like a lot of like Italian horror is dubbed. Like it's just my thing with like the little boy, the voice did not match him at all. And anytime he talked, I was like, shut up. Because I just didn't like the voice because it just didn't look like it fits him. But some of the dubbing is pretty like bad, and I would say the little boy, is the worst because he's the one I noticed it on. I was like watching it, and I was like, "That's not him. That's not his voice. I don't even know what this kid sounds like, but that's just not him. I know it's not." And yeah, it's not. But like you said, the story of it, it's so good, and I don't remember going in if I knew. No, I did know. I think this is a cool movie. I guess it's like a spoiler alert, but it's really not because it's on the fucking poster.
Oh yeah, and
I think it would have
I was
been
like, damn.
so much better if it had nothing to show that this is a vampire movie, because the whole time you think the mom is sick, like she has like cancer, but it turns out she's a vampire.
Mm-hmm.
That's so cool, and they're flying back to America for like treatments or whatever. Like that's so freaking cool, and I wish that it didn't show at all that it was a vampire movie, because I think that would have been a really great surprise.
Oh yeah.
And she has like that sort of classic like Nosferatu look, because I feel like a lot of movies don't include that sort of vampire, like the Salem's Lot, Nosferatu. There is in Jacob's Wife, there is like that classic Nosferatu look of a vampire.
Oh, okay.
So it's just cool to see, you know. But I like that's what the vampires look like, and they're in the fucking plane. It's like snakes on the plane, but with vampires.
Yeah, I was saying, like we just need more animals and creatures on planes.
Exactly, because flying for me is already like one of my biggest fears. And then you add something worse.
Yeah.
Well, not worse, but you know, also
you
terrible.
Can't jump. Like you can't jump.
You have nowhere to go, and this plane was huge. I was like, "Are planes really this big?" I don't know, but the plane was huge, and it's sad. The movie's sad. I cried.
Yeah, especially the ending. Like
the ending,
it
I was
really
like,
sucked. Like, I wasn't the biggest fan of the ending, but not just because like it wasn't sad or anything. It was just like I don't feel like we really needed to go this direction.
Yeah,
because I felt like they had a good ending, and then they added more stuff to it. I'm like, okay, that could have been left out. But other than that, I thought the script was good. I thought the actors did a great job. Very good movie.
Bloody as hell.
Yeah, bloody as hell. And so watch it, Netflix.
Yeah, definitely recommend it.
So those are our talking points of that. So are you ready to hit the main event?
Yeah.
All right, let's do it. So the main event, and plus this is kind of funny too, because with the recent news that came out, we're going to get more movies of this. What movies are we talking about here? Fear Street Trilogy. So the first one came out on July the 2nd of 2021. Is Fear Street 1994. Then the next week, and that's why I love too, and I'll describe more of that here in a little bit. The next week of July the 9th, we get Fear Street Part 2, 1978. And then lastly, we get on July the 16th, Fear Street Part 3, 1666. And as you saw, all great scores. This was such a phenomenal like last year, and I absolutely love this trilogy. Rewatched it for this particular stream episode, and I love it even more. It might be one of my favorite horror trilogies of all time.
Yeah, I remember like last year. So I didn't watch 94 that day it came out. I think I had waited. I had watched it. I think that next Friday when 78 came out. So I like watched 94 that day. Like I was at work, like watching it. And then when I got home, I had watched, or you know what? I might be lying. I think I might have waited till 1666 came out. And I think I binged them all within 2 days. I loved them. And this, like, I didn't watch it weekly, and I wish I would have, because I think that was really cool. But to see, like, I tweeted about this not that long ago. I was just like, when it came out, just seeing all the tweets about it and seeing, like, it's always fun when a new horror movie comes out that people are, like, really excited for. But it's even more fun when it's pretty, like, well received, you know? Like, it's not like Halloween Kills when that came out, and everyone's, like, screaming because they're like, what the fuck? And everyone's arguing. Or Texas Chainsaw Massacre 2022.
Oh, that
so much
one
arguing.
Rough.
So much arguing. But with this, I didn't really see arguments. I saw some people that didn't like it, which is like fine, but I didn't see people like going at each other because they didn't like the movies.
Oh, and real quick, yes, I'll go ahead and say yes, we are going to spoil these. So if you've not seen Fear Street, just come back later to like this last part of Back from the Dead, because I understand it's a year old and I usually follow the 5-year method, but this is hard not to talk about spoilers. So yes, this is spoilers.
Yes. So 1994, the opening is so great. It's Scream, which I love, and you have Maya Hawke who's playing your kind of Casey character, and I loved it. The soundtracks I think are great. The soundtracks are like full of music, and like the way like Stranger Things is full of music. It's like, especially season 4, that first episode, it's like it's like back to back to back to back. There's just so much music, like boom, which I love that though, especially with like songs I know. I'm like, oh, this is pretty cool.
Yeah.
But
Especially with 78, that's the best one.
oh yeah. But 1994, I thought it was fun. It's my least favorite of the trilogy, but I still think it's pretty, like, it's still great. Like, I still had a lot of fun with it, and I could watch it like at any point, I think, because it is a lot of fun.
66?
78, or no, not 78, 94. 94 is my least favorite.
Oh, okay, that's surprising. Because that used to be like, God, I lost my train of thought there. So continue. I'll get back to it in a minute. I'll think of it.
But yeah, 94. It's a lot of fun. The bread slicer kill, that won the little like Fangoria Chainsaw Awards on Shudder as like the best kill because it is so fucking good. And I watched Trixie Mattel and Katya. They're like 2 drag queens. They're amazing. Yes. They do the like to watch for Netflix, where in the watch set that's on Netflix, and they covered the Fear Street movies. And I had posted like their reactions to the bread slicer kill because it's just so funny. Because they're just like, oh my god, because it is fucking insane. It was such crazy. A good one. And like I really enjoy like the characters. And then 78 is my favorite. It's just so good. A camp slasher. I think Tommy is the scary. No, I take that back. Ruby is the fucking scariest killer. And yesterday at the convention, I saw a Ruby Lane and a Tommy, and I was like, "That's fucking." Because as soon as I saw her, I was like, "She's Ruby from Fear Street, Maddie." I was like, "Look at her." And she's like, "Who?" Maddie has like terrible vision, even with contacts.
Oh, I was about to say, I was like, "Well, we're watching those movies when we get home."
And I don't know if she's seen them. Maybe she hasn't. Maybe that's also why.
You need to watch. You need to like watch it with her.
Definitely,
so, absolutely.
I think that Ruby is like the scariest villain because she also sings and her voice is like haunting. But I need to get my phone charger. My phone's about to die. I have 10%. Oh, no.
Here, let me get the chat real quick.
Okay.
Chris said, or Snyder said, 1978 is his favorite. 66 is his second favorite, and his third favorite is from 94. Originally, I had 66 as my favorite, but now okay, you know what? I'll do 78 1. I would do 94 2 and 66 3. Because 66 is not bad, but I loved it originally. It was my first favorite just because I loved the first 40 minutes of it. But after this rewatch, I'm like, yeah, it's not better than the other two. And then we also got Maya Hawke was in it in 94, and she was phenomenal. And yes, but the problem is I wanted more. Like I loved her in it, but unfortunately they gave her the Drew Barrymore treatment, aka Scream, and that's what I loved about 94.
Yeah, I think 94 is a lot of fun. I think 78 is the best just because like I like the setting of it so much because I love slasher movies, first of all, and it's like even though 78 it feels like a 80s slasher, which again I love. And I do think Tommy, like, I think Ruby isn't the most, like, if I saw her, I would just be, like, chilled. Like, I'd be like, oh, that's fucking creepy. But Tommy, I'd be like, that's fucking scary. Like, that man is about to fuck me up. Because, first of all, I love sackhead killers. Love them. Pray at Night, The Strangers, I love sackheads. And so, when we first saw him in 94, and the way he moves is so like Jason-esque, like running, and like the way he's like slashing at shit.
That's scary too. When someone runs, like he had like the axe and just freaking running at and charging at you. Kind of remind me of like Jason in the remake. I'm like, exactly. That's fucking scary. And I can see why Ruby Lang's scary too, because she's just slow, taking her time, and then when she
like
lures you in. Yeah, singing, it gets the little scalpel, it just slashes your Achilles and all that. Oh, it's just painful.
But 78, so good. And you fucking have Sadie sing.
Ha.
She loves the sack. I do. What can I say? I do.
Yeah, you know, we did a whole
Yeah.
SAG counter last year on the Friday the 13th series, but yeah, so we all love the SAG
Love
on
it.
this channel. But yeah, please introduce
Sadie
Sadie
Sink.
Sink. Yes.
Phenomenal. And I loved seeing a couple of Stranger Things characters like in like something not like together, but a part of something together, I guess. But I think she is so talented. We know this. Hello. She's amazing. Stranger Things season, well, any season she's in, she's great. But season 4, I think her and I think Eddie and I think Dustin and Lucas in their moments, them two in their moments, like carried it. But I think Sadie Sink carried it. Like she fucking brought it.
The entire
She is
season.
talented. She is so good. And same thing in this movie. She is so good. She's playing like a character kind of like Max, who's very like upfront and like doesn't give a fuck.
A rebel.
And she plays that so well. She plays it so well. But I love, you know, in 78 you're finding more out about what is going on. So 78 you're like diving deeper into it, and it plays out the events like where like with the hand, and they see like the hand and shit, and they're like underground in this ritualistic place, like what the fuck's going on. And the ending is sad. Like 78 made me sad at the end. And I like that, like the way it's like being told is sort of like a big flashback, because they're talking to, what was Cece, is that her name?
Yeah, Cece and Ziggy. Excuse me, and Ziggy.
Yes, and Ziggy. And so you're like finding out their story, which I thought was great, and it really made me sad.
And they really had a good sister bond too. And plus you see them at the end, and they are like reaching for each.
Reaching out. Oh,
I
it's
know.
so upsetting. It is so upsetting. And I feel like there was a twist, right? Because
yeah, there was a twist.
Wasn't it like, I thought I was like meant to, who lives in the end? I can't remember.
Ziggy, Sadie Sink's character.
Okay, that's what I thought.
Because even rewatching it, me knowing that, I still thought it was the older sister that lived. But it kind of makes sense when you think about it, because of her spunky attitude at the beginning of 78. You should have kind of already tied the two together on that. But they just switched the names just because Good wasn't so good in this movie.
And you know what's funny? Watching 1994, and I was like, good, huh? What if he's bad?
Yep.
I was like, am I a genius? Like, I figured that out. I was like, that'd be so silly if he was like a bad guy. And I was like, he's the main bad guy. Out of everything, he is the main bad guy. So we go to 1666, which I loved 1666. Because usually I'm not the biggest fan of like period pieces. Like, so this is the one I was like least looking forward to, honestly, just because it's really not my sort of thing. But you know, we're dealing with like witches, and you have your main character, Dana, I believe, from like all the movies.
Yeah,
but
Dina.
she's playing Sarah, who is like the witch. So she's playing that character. So we see her as her like self, but she's actually Sarah, like experiencing her story of like what actually happened. And it's so sad because, you know, all that it was is that she was in love with a girl.
Yeah, I know.
That's all it was.
And it's so stupid. If it, Sarah wasn't even a witch at all, it's just like the
She
people.
wasn't a witch.
It's like the whole town just made her a witch, supposedly, even though she didn't do anything.
But that's what would have happened during that happened. Like freaking anything. If anything was wrong with you, it's like, you're a witch. And it's like, no, I'm not. So she was hanged for something she did not do because it was good. It was his fucking great whatever the fuck grandfather, however many grades. It was just like his grandfather, and he was the one making deals with the devil, and he had to cover his shit up and then blamed it on Sarah because she was a lesbian, and like, oh, she's also into witchcraft too, bye. And so she gets hanged, and then that's when she was like, I will come back. And I like, you will never get rid of me. Like, and I will get my revenge.
Did the whole life spell, and all that's perfect.
And it's just it reminds me of another movie, and I can't remember what movie, because whenever I was watching this movie, I was like, oh, this is like Fear Street 1666. What the fuck was it? I don't know. It's gonna come to me.
It'll come to you in a minute. I bet once the stream ends, you'll be like, "Oh, I remember."
Because I was watching it, I was like, oh, this sounds just like Fear Street 1666, where it was something similar. I don't know. It's gonna drive me crazy.
We get through all that. And then the biggest surprise for me with 1666 is 94 Part 2. I'm like, well, damn. I'm like, I thought we were just going to save that for the next week or something like that. But
I was so excited for that because I'm watching it and I'm like, okay, so Sarah's dead, and there's still like 40 minutes left of the movie, and then it hits with 1994 Part 2, and I was like,
yes,
here we go. I was like, fuck yes. Even though like 1994 is my least favorite, I still thought it was so much fun. So I was so happy to be back. And the detail in these movies are so great because you're watching it and you're like, I recognize that place. I recognize this. And it's because like it's there on purpose. Like the mall is at the campground of the first movie.
It's just how everything ties in together, like all together. Like just at that exact moment, you're like, oh shit, all this makes sense.
It's just like all the attention to detail in these movies are so great. And like I know they were supposed to go to theaters at first, but and be like one long movie. Which I'm glad that this went to streaming. Like, yeah, this would have been awesome to see in a theater because like this is just such a fun like summertime movie. But for us to like be able to all watch it together at home week by week, that's just so amazing. And I'm so excited for another trilogy or whatever they decide to do. I hope the attention to detail is just as great as it was in this one because everything just went together so well. Like the whole like what happens to her hand, and that's why, you know, and they touch her hand and the girlfriend gets all these flashbacks and all of a sudden she has like the curse and
the nosebleed
and the nosebleed.
Yeah,
so good.
Yeah, so
what
good. Plus, I was a sucker at the end too, where freaking Dina and Sam were in that, like, just giving respect to Sarah because they know all the torture she'd been through, and they were having Burger King while listening to the Pixies, because that was their like whole like, yeah, we're gonna get out of this. I'm gonna get us cheeseburgers, and we're gonna be listening to the Pixies all night long. I'm like, and then they did that at the end. I was like, that's just like an awesome ending. And then we get that after the credits, where someone steals the book, leaving it open for future Fear Street movies.
Yes. Oh, yeah, also, I cried in 1666. Like 78, it might have been like Water Eyes, but no, 1666, I was like tears. I was like, holy shit! Like this is really hitting me. Whenever
because she's
Sarah
innocent.
Yeah, and it's just so fucking. It's just sad. I wish I could remember what movie it reminds me of. Anyways, whatever.
Yeah, but yeah, man, just I love these movies. Like just rewatching them, I was just like, yeah, I love these movies. I'm gonna watch these like every year, just because I will include this as some of my favorite trilogies in horror of all time.
I agree. They freaking. Oh, and it's cool because the woman that like directed these is married to one of the Duffer brothers.
Oh, really? Oh, I wonder if the Duffer brothers are gonna do the next one.
Which makes sense. That would be cool. There's like some ties to like you have some Stranger Things characters over here, and like she had to do so much work because I think she directed maybe the first one or the second one, and I don't think she's supposed to direct either one more or the other two, and she had to end up directing like I think all of them or at least two of them because
I'm so glad
because she did amazing. She did wonderfully. I'm like, yes, we need more of this. I need more of these. I love teen horror movies, but I love teen horror movies that are fucking gory. Because a lot of teen horror movies, they're not gory.
Yeah, exactly.
But seeing teen horror movies and people are getting sliced from a bread slicer and just obliterated, I'm like, I need more of this. Because a lot of people's issues with teen horror is that it's not gory enough, you know, it's just too safe. But this is not safe. This is like brutal. And kids die in 78. Like children die. You don't get to see it, which is tasteful, you know. I don't want to see a 7-year-old being smacked with an axe, but you hear it. And I was just like, oh my God.
Even like Maya Hawke's death was brutal too. Like we actually see like the knife going into the chest. Like I'm like, damn, those are great effects right there.
All the effects were freaking wonderful. Like everyone that worked on this put all of this effort in, and it was so fast. They were shot in like 3 months.
Yes.
Fucking insane. Like, I can't say enough good things because what they were able to accomplish is just fantastic. So, amazing.
Yeah, so Fear Freak's absolutely amazing, and I know we could talk way more into it, but we just figured with such a short show, and plus I think you did a Fear Streak stream way back, and I know me and Brad did for sure.
Yeah. And even
Yeah.
then, I feel like we still didn't say enough about it because there was just so much. I'm like, there's just so much to talk about. It's just so well done.
Yeah, especially when you rewatch it, you see a lot more things the first time than you did the second time.
I do need to rewatch it.
Yeah, you absolutely do. I say watch it in October because it's a good October set of movies to watch.
Maybe that's what I'll do. That does seem like a good time to just watch it, like the slasher vibes.
Damn right. So before we close out the whole entire episode, let's rank these real quickly. I know we kind of already explained it, and I just said it earlier, but let's just remind people. How would you rate these? Or just like an order from worst to best?
78, 66, and then 94. But honestly, in a way, if you were to like break off that ending of 94 and make it its own little thing, I would probably do like 78. Well, I guess it would still kind of be the same. Never mind.
Yeah, like I don't blame you for that because I tried to do that. I'm like, no, it kind of missed something from 66, like the whole spectacle event, the shock value. Like, by the way, here's another movie. But yeah, for me, it's 78-1. It used to be 66 used to be my number one when I first watched it, but now I would say 94 is my number 2 and 66 is my number 3. Not that 66 was bad, it's just the other ones are so much damn better.
Yeah,
and more enjoyable.
No matter how you rearrange these, like it's totally valid.
There's not a long answer.
No, because like everything, it just has so much greatness to it. It's amazing.
Oh, it's so amazing, and I just love it. I wish we could talk about it longer. Just try to check the chat real quick. Ashton says, I did think I liked 66, but it ended up being my first favorite out of the Fear Streak trilogy. Because
nothing wrong with that.
And second favorite. Second favorite. Okay, awesome.
Yeah, I thought it would have been my least favorite too going into it, but no, I was like,
plus I love the witch, so when they brought all that kind of witch vibes to it, so like you won me over. And plus their like whole like speech pattern with it was actually pretty damn good. It wasn't the witch quality,
kind of lost a little bit.
Yeah, but the longer it went, I was like, oh crap.
It was like in and out, but you know what? I'm sure that's hard.
Yeah, they tried.
Like I said, 3 months. Like,
yeah,
I'll ignore it.
You all try to film 3 movies in 3 months and see how that works out. And Ashton says, I felt so bad for Sarah. She didn't deserve that. Oh, definitely not. And that's what brought the emotion. But that's why it's just all this works so well because you thought she was the villain. And then that third movie just sets you right on to like, yeah, she didn't do damn shit.
No. And it's not her problem. The town is cursed. Like, that's not her. That's still going on because the good family.
Yeah, exactly. And then Ben Graham says, I only liked 66 when it got back to 94. And I don't blame you for that. I don't blame that either because 94 was such a fun time and we just wanted like to say, okay, what's going to happen next? And then it goes back to 94 and finishes the entire story.
All tied together.
Hell yeah. So, all right, that's all the movies we've talked about. 13 movies in almost 2 hours, so that's awesome. Because we thought this was going to be a short episode, but we got to go, and it's thanks to you all in the chat. Destiny, is there anything else you want to mention about any of these movies?
No, I think that's about it. I think I talked enough.
Yeah, hey, both of us said we're exhausted, so we're going to be sleeping for the rest of the day. So, let's freaking wrap this up. So, Destiny, do you have anything coming up for Fear Streets, Final Ghouls, or anything on your particular brand?
We talked about doing Final Ghouls. We were trying to do it last week, but because of like I had a convention and Nope came out and stuff, like we weren't able to like fit it. But I think this week we're trying to do an episode. I'm not sure what day. We're kind of talking about Monday, but we need to talk about that again just to like finalize a day. So I'm not sure about that yet. Fear Freaks. We're supposed to be talking about Nope. I haven't seen Nope yet, so I
You
gotta
better
do
get
that.
you better get to the theater.
I know. If not, I don't know what we're gonna do.
Just
And
pretend you
then
knew it, but just pretend you saw it.
no, like, and I really loved that one part. And then that's all I have to say. The whole movie.
Oh yeah. Oh my
Just, like,
gosh.
I love that one scene. But then after Fear Freaks, I'm gonna be on Sledgehammer Horror, their channel. We're gonna be talking about guilty pleasures. So
Nice.
excited about that, which I don't feel guilty though, and I will say that I don't feel guilty for the movies I like. But
And when it
there's movies that are guilty pleasures.
and when it's that show.
That will be Wednesday afterwards. I actually need to ask Brayden if we can move up Fear Freaks a little bit so I can be on there. Because it starts at 8 my time. Wednesday.
Okay, so 9:00 Eastern time. So
yeah.
okay.
So
sweet.
be on there
Okay.
talking about that.
Yeah, so you're going to be busy on Wednesday, so that's awesome. So, yeah, so be sure to anything Destiny. If you love Destiny, we all love Destiny. I got all of her links in the description below with the Fear Freaks playlist, so you know exactly where to find all the episodes on that. I got her the final ghouls, so their YouTube channel, their Instagram, and of course Destiny socials as well. Just in case if you want to follow her to see which person she destroys on Twitter or any of her social medias.
Yeah. Oh, also, Chris has a good question.
Oh, let's go ahead. Let's address it real quick. What would you like to see in the next trilogy? Same cast as different characters in a different story, kind of like American Horror Story. Different story with a new cast like an anthology or a follow-up to this trilogy. I feel like with that ending credits scene, they kind of make like they're like intertwined with each other, so I wouldn't necessarily call it an anthology, but I wouldn't include the same characters because I feel like those actors and actresses that are playing those characters, they wrote the characters off good, so I don't feel like bringing them back really makes a lot of sense, and plus you're confusing people at that point.
Yeah, I would agree. I maybe like a couple here and there, maybe from the first, but I don't want the exact same people. Like, I would like some different people. I would take some more Stranger Things cast in some of these. And I think, I don't know if I would want them all to be connected. I would kind of like its own sort of thing, but still all connected
Just has the
somehow.
like just has the vibe to it.
Yeah, like, I don't want them to all be like talking about Sarah Fear still. Like, I would like something kind of different, but I would like those stories to be connected with themselves, how they did this. I think it's kind of, I don't really know. I don't know.
But yeah, that
more.
yeah, I just want more. Like, so you just throw it our way, and we're gonna freaking just stay up all night and watch it. Yeah, exactly. Like, I'm not sure if I'll wake up at 3:00 in the morning to watch it, but I'll watch it.
This isn't season 4 of Stranger Things.
I know.
Well, volume 2.
That was a rough day, just both sides of things. But yeah, try to think here. Oh, okay. So coming up on Goodwill Hunting, like people were mentioning earlier in the chat, Hallow Scream officially kicks off tomorrow, which is a bunch of YouTubers like myself, Braden Timmons, Matt Fauci, Bacon Pew Pew, Josh from Camp Blood Media, the Dark Effort Files podcast, Mega Movie Seas, and Chefman 316. Yeah, that's 8. Great. I'm at least doing something right today. All of us will be dropping our reviews for the original Halloween of 78, and then we will release each other Halloween movie leading up to Halloween Ends. And also, Chris Snyder in the chat will be releasing his Letterboxd reviews, so be sure to check out his Letterboxd tomorrow so you can read up on his Halloween 78 review. And then also for Goodwill Hunting, we got a Slash It Out on Wednesday. For Get Out versus, I was about to say no, Get Out versus Us, kind of like Jordan Peele, because we were supposed to do that last week, but a certain trailer for Halloween Ends came out, so we're going to do that Slash It Out on Wednesday, and as of right now, that's going to be either 7:30, so stay tuned to our socials, which is also in the description below, so you can figure out when that stream is. And then other than that, I got nothing else. Do you have anything else?
Now, wait, did y'all figure out what day that the trivia stream is?
Oh, okay. Yes, thank you. As of
No, I was
right
about to write
now,
down the date to make sure I
as
remember.
of right now, it is August the 5th, but I'm still trying to get everybody to confirm, which unfortunately we might need to get new players, which I'm going to have to check on that. But as of right now, it is August the 5th at 8 o'clock Eastern time. But again, follow our socials on Good Real Hunting, and I will let y'all know as much information as I can when everything is official. Because, yeah, Destiny's going to be the moderator, so...
Yeah, I need to start getting my questions.
Oh, absolutely you do. So I'm actually going to let you do that and also sleep because I know you've had a busy weekend. I've had a hell of a weekend as well. So I'm going to sleep for the
Yep,
rest
as
of
did
today. We want you all to sleep, enjoy the rest of your all Sunday. And we got busy weeks of streams. So we will talk to you the next time and we will see you next month for August. Why will my mouse...